JQuery is one of the most popular JavaScript libraries in use today. It makes HTML DOM tree traversal and manipulation very simple and allows us to do event handling, CSS animation, and AJAX calls with equal ease. Moreover, it is cross-browser compliant, so you don't have to worry about the browser-specific nuances. jQuery takes care of that and runs the same way in all browsers. In this video, we will start off by seeing how to obtain the jQuery library and include it in our project. Then we will see how to invoke it. We will specifically examine its selector mechanism, how we can select different elements on the web page using IDs, classes, tag types, etc., and invoke some basic actions on them. This video will help you get started with jQuery. First, let's see how we can include jQuery in our project. The first way is to go to jQuery.com, click Download jQuery here. For development, you can use the uncompressed version. Let me click it, and it is pretty printed with spaces, and so it's larger in size. For production, you want the minified version, which is smaller in size and does not take a lot of network resources to download it. You can copy the content, open up a text editor, paste it, and then save it to a file, say jQuery.min.js. There are other ways too. For instance, for Node projects, you can use npm to install jQuery or use yarn. You can also obtain a version hosted by a content delivery network like StackPath or Google, Microsoft CDN, etc. We'll be using the one hosted by Google. The advantage is that many browsers already have it in their cache, so they don't have to download it again. And even if it has to be downloaded, the CDN offers the nearest site for better download speed. So, in your head section of the page, you can either, within the script tag, refer to the downloaded jQuery. In this example, it is the same directory as this HTML page, or you can refer it from the Google CDN. Once it's downloaded, to invoke it, you invoke the $document.ready function. The $sign is to access jQuery. The document.ready function is to prevent any jQuery code from running before the document is finished loading. There is a shorthand to this function, and you can use it if you like. I prefer the first one as the method name tells me more explicitly what is happening. Now, inside the ready function, you use the $accessor to access the DOM elements in the page. So here we are accessing the button element on the page and saying that on the click event on the button, do the following action. And the action is again using the $accessor, access all the paragraph elements on the web page and perform the hide action on them. This is just one example, but as you can see, it makes it so easy to work with the DOM elements and access and perform actions on them. Let's take a look at a demo now. So here is a simple HTML page with a variety of elements. You have got a heading element, para elements, lists, table, hyperlinks, and a button. Just to illustrate how using jQuery we can access and perform actions on these elements. Alright, here is an HTML page on one side and a browser on the other so that we can see the rendered page and the effect of the changes we make. First, let me load this HTML page, and here it is. Let me first create the head section, and inside it, using the script tag, reference the jQuery from the Google CDN. And with another script tag, let me bring in the document.ready function. Now, inside it, using the $accessor, let me obtain the reference to the button and say that when the button is clicked, I want to use the $accessor to get all the p elements on the page and perform the action of hiding them. Save the file. Let's refresh the page to load our changes. Click the button and we see that all the para elements are hidden now. Let's refresh the page to bring it to its original state. Now let's hide the first para element only. So we will append with a colon first to access just the first para element and then hide it. Save the file, reload the page to get the changes, click the button, and now we see just the first para element is hidden. Now we can select elements based on the CSS style also. So let's say we want to access all the elements with a style of X. A dot indicates accessing a style element. So now it should grab this main heading and the first para element and hide them. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and indeed the two elements are hidden now. We can also reference an element using its ID. So let's give the second para element an ID of second. And now let's say that grab the ID which we indicate by the hash sign second and hide it. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and we see the second para element is now hidden. Let's see how to work with the list elements now. Let us access the li elements, which we do by accessing the ul elements first and then traversing to li elements underneath. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and now we see both the lists have been hidden. If you just want to hide the first element of the first list, we can change the selector to ul:first. Save it. Reload the page. So Switzerland should now hide when we click the button. And indeed it does. Let's reload the page. If we want the first element of both lists to hide, we can change the selector to ul:first-child. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and we see the intended results. Let's see how we can work with the tables. Here we have three tr elements, the first being the header. If we want to hide the first tr row, we can change the selector to tr:first. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and the header disappears. Let's reset the page. Now let's say we want to hide the even number rows. Since it is 0 based, the first and third rows should hide. Change the selector to tr:even. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and we see just the second row. If we want the odd rows to hide, change the selector to odd, save the file, reload the page, click the button, and we see the second row hide. Let's see how to work with hyperlinks. If we change the selector to include just A, then both the hyperlinks should hide. Save the file, reload the page, click the button, and indeed they hide. Let's reset the page. What if we want to just hide the hyperlink where there is an attribute target equal to blank? Let's modify the selector, save the file, reload the page, click the button, and the Google link hides. So these were just some examples to illustrate how to work with various HTML elements using jQuery. In this video, we saw how to download and include jQuery in our HTML file, how to invoke it, and then we saw its use with a variety of selectors to make the concept clear. Thanks for watching.